All right. Right on time. Well, uh, as you can see, it's once again really late here. But if to everyone here, thank you for showing up. There's not a lot of people here, so I think I'm allowed to just do this without anyone giving me any strange looks. All right. um, you're probably wondering who I am, and that's a good question. So how about we get about answering those questions? Shall we? Um, how do I work this again? This one, right? All right, I'm getting the hang of this. Deep breaths. Hi there, everyone. My name is Soren Castor, but you can just call me Soren. I know if you've been seeing me on Twitter at all, you've seen this picture and also on the thumbnail because I'm really proud of it. It's just something I'm really proud of. I tend to not look good in pictures because, well, I don't take care of myself. But I don't know. I'm happy with how this turned out. But yeah, my name is Soren Castor. My age is, well, I'm in my 20s. Let's just put it that way. And, well, I'm the bouncer of a club called the Crimson Sacrifice. Weird name, I know. I try not to ask any questions about it. What's that? Anyway. I know that might be a bit weird that I'm a bouncer, considering a certain number over there. But I assure you, I get the job done, and by get the job done, I mean I sit here. Look, there hasn't been that much activity going on in the last couple of months, which has, let's just say made this a very, uneventful occupation. My birthday is March 5th, and if I was a smarter person, I would have streamed before then. But here we are. But yeah. Although I am technically employed, there hasn't really been much to do lately. So, I took it upon myself to find something to do. And, well, here we are. How about we just move on? As for my tastes, well, I tend to like things basically on a whim, really. It kind of depends. I'm sure that there's an underlying theme around here somewhere, but I didn't really take the time to analyze myself, really. As for anime and manga, well, I don't actually read a lot of manga nowadays. I should. I really should. But I don't know. I've always been really bad at understanding panel layout, so I just kind of went the easy road of just watching things. I appreciate visual storytelling a lot. Which I guess brings us to our first favorite here. And that would be Kekai Sensen, or Blood Blockade Battlefront. It's one of my favorites. And, well, is it too early to get a bit personal? Maybe. But I guess one of the reasons it's one of my favorites is, well, I'm located in a city, but that wasn't always the case. And to be frank, coming here from, let's say, outside of the city, it's kind of scary, kind of nerve-wracking. But that's kind of the premise of Kekai Sensen. Blood blockade. Of just some kid out there coming to the city and trying to get used to his surroundings. Granted, his situation's a bit more dire, but I don't know. It's kind of the same thing. It kind of struck a chord with me when I watched it. Like, how many years ago at this point? Oh, jeez. But yeah, it's one of my favorites, and I kind of regard it as, let's just say, like, the start of my life here, I guess. Watched it around the same time I moved, so yeah, it has a deep place in my heart. I don't know if I have time to really talk about all of these, but I'll maybe pick out one or two more. I feel like everyone's kind of heard of Gurren Lagann, so I need not get into that. Bottom tier character Tomozaki. That's actually one of my new favorite ones, actually. The premise is basically, sounds a lot sadder, actually trying to recall it, but a guy who's obsessed with games, specifically Smash Brothers. I mean, it's called Attack Families, but it's basically Smash Brothers. Has to adapt to socializing with other people, which I guess sounds like a joke, but I don't know. I can't say it struck a chord with me with all of these, but there was, at first it kind of seemed like, let's say, is it Origairu? Origairu, or a Bunny Girl Senpai, of kind of an antisocial dude adapting to the real world and growing. But the thing about Tomozaki is he's honest. And it's not like something he grows into. He's honest from the get-go. And although he's learning how to adapt to society and talk to people and make friends and stuff like that, he doesn't feel comfortable really, saying things just for the sake of saying things, of putting on airs, so to speak, to really buddy-buddy with people. And it doesn't really portray it like a bad thing that he's learning all these skills, but I really found it nice that even someone who is as antisocial as Tomazaki, the protagonist, he starts out with at least a few positive qualities that end up being what makes him special in the end. I guess I probably shouldn't just explain the plot of all of these either. Oh. Kino, Lane, if you've seen them, if you know them, you kind of get why they're on here. They're not really the same thing, but in terms of tone, it's kind of my jam. And, well, I guess High Score Girl is a good way to transition into video games. But High Score Girl is also a series, a show about, well, I guess does it take place in the 90s or the 80s? It takes place a while ago, back when arcades were still a thing. And as someone who never actually went to an arcade before, I kind of find that atmosphere inviting. It's like I've missed out on something. I mean, of course, I've been to one before. I've been to one at movie theaters and the like. But I never really spent a lot of time, like, as a kid, just playing games at an arcade. It was always a special occasion. There weren't really any nearby to have as a hangout spot. So, I don't know. A really good thing about High Score Girl is I feel like it does a really good job of getting across a rivalry between a boy and a girl. I tend to not really see, like, those portrayed really well. Or at all, really. But I don't know, it's really cool, and it's about fighting games, which I guess we'll be going into later on, but it got me hyped to try some of those out. As for games, well, Dragon Quest is actually one of the franchises I grew up with. Not on the original NES, but I actually got started via the DS remakes. I don't know where we managed to get those, because looking at it now, they're pretty pricey, pretty expensive. I must have gone lucky finding them in bargain bins or something. But yeah, I basically grew up with that franchise. I started out with 5, which I guess in hindsight was maybe a mistake. Not because it's bad or anything, it's probably my favorite of the franchise, the series, but it was kind of hard to beat after that. Though, to be fair, 11 came really close. Sorry. I was just kind of thinking back to 11. But, yeah, it's... I know the Dragon Quest games aren't very popular in America, or outside of Japan, really. But if you haven't tried one, I'd say give it a shot. Maybe don't go in thinking you'll have a big epic immediately. Just think of it like a fairy tale. Just let the whimsy overtake you and go along for the ride. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum of fantasy, Dragon's Dogma, also a favorite of mine, though it's not really a franchise, at least outside of Japan. But, oh man, I don't even know how to start talking about that. You know, let's just don't. Let's just not. That's a harder sell. But no, that's good. Just know that it is one of my favorites, and it will never get a sequel, but that's fine. That's A-okay. Not everything needs to continue. Not everything needs to eternally return. If you know, you know. I dabble in Final Fantasy. I didn't play as much as a kid. Well, I played a lot of 3. And kind of only really 3. And because of that, I got really attached to certain classes in that game. Mostly of the magic variety. The magic variety that dabbles into martial weapons, let's say. Look, that's kind of like the only representation of a certain red-colored class, and as a kid, I was fascinated. Oh, sorry, the soup's a bit uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't know. I never really played a Final Fantasy game until that one, and it was also on the DS, so go figure. But I think what made it fun for me was just the ability to make your own party. Well, not make your own party, but make it comprised of any class that you can really think of. And I don't know, that freedom was really nice. Let's see. Oh, I can only really remember like 2 of the characters' names at this point. I tend to not rename characters in RPGs, as long as they have a default name there, of course. But yeah, I still remember Lunith. I still remember Raphia. Is it Ignis? Or Ignis. Yeah, I think it was Ingus, because that's significantly less cool. No idea what the 4th guy's name was. But yeah, I got started with Final Fantasy 3. I played a bit of Final Fantasy 4, I think. But I don't remember getting that far. I don't know why. I think... I might have started it and then realized it was... The battle system was completely different in that game. Well, I mean, it was the same, but... That was when... See, I'm kind of used to when you don't do anything, the enemy also doesn't do anything. But Final Fantasy IV is, I think, when they changed that system. And you were basically always on the clock. I'm sure there was a setting to change that. I was a dumb kid at the time, so I didn't know. I liked Cecil. But, okay, so 14, I really like 14, and I know that a lot of people really like Dragoons. I want to say that, Final Fantasy IV maybe was a bad game to start off with, being introduced to the Dragoon, or at least, like, an official character classified as a Dragoon. Because... Kane, man. He has some issues in that game. And it takes a while. takes a while for him to get over them. Like a long time. I mean, I played a few in 3. I think that game has a boss fight specifically where they require you to be a Dragoon. So, at the time I liked it then, but come 4, well, let's say I didn't come out of that really having a better understanding of what makes Dragoons cool. It took a bit. Trying to think of what I can really say about any of these other ones. Kid Icarus is a really cool game. Don't need to really play the first 2 games in the franchise to understand it. It helps. Doesn't matter. I don't know. I feel like that game is better going in blind. I went in going in thinking I would just kind of really dig into the multiplayer, which is weird, I know, but I don't know, the multiplayer was cool. They had really cool trailers for it where they had it set up like an announcer commentating the match, making it feel like an esport, which is weird. But I don't know, I played a bit of it, but I didn't really expect the story to drag me in as hard as it did, but sure did. I'm not gonna really get into it, hoping that, well, it gets ported over, maybe. But, just know that that's also probably a game you need to play for yourself to really get it. Or just watch someone else play it. I'm sure that also gets across the point. As for other games that I grew up with Monster Hunter. Yeah, Dragon Quest and Monster Hunter. What a winning combination. As an English speaker. We didn't have anyone to play it with. You know, the multiplayer-centric game. Yeah, I started out with... It was one of the PSP games. I can't remember. I think it was Freedom Unite, because that sounds about right. Maybe? I don't remember what I used to use back then. I think I used a hammer. I was trying things out. It was the game with the big weapons. I figured I might as well use a big weapon. And, well, like a decade and a half later, nope. I can't. A greatsword? No. Hammer? Eh. I did use the... Was it the switch axe? The switch axe, because... Oh man, that localization change still weirds me out. Because originally, I think it was like this... There was something weird about like the switch axe and the charge blade, because I'm pretty sure one of them is actually called an axe originally, and they changed it over here. But when the charge blade was introduced, it was also called an axe, I think. So they had to change that, and when they brought it over, it was, you know, charge blade as opposed to the charge axe. I don't remember the exact details, but I used to use the switch axe, and I don't know. It wasn't really my thing. Is that a plane? Huh. Yeah. I'm really happy the Monster Hunter is really popular over here now. What else? Oh, by the way, I use Sword and Shield. As we'll find out from future streams, and I'm sure as I talk more and more about what I like and what I don't like, I am very vanilla. trying to get out of that. But yeah, when it comes to taste, I kind of go with the most default options. It's kind of boring sometimes, but I don't know. I like what I like. And of things I like, I really like that one game, Amori. I'll talk about it more later. I have some plans about it. Yeah, I have some plans that I want to do about Amori and other games that would be really good streaming material, but I played already. Of games I played already, I played Pokemon. I think we've all played Pokemon. My favorites are Black and White and Sun and Moon. They're still RPGs, so I still really appreciate it when they try to tell a story. Black and White and Sun and Moon kind of tell the same story if you really think about it. But I don't know, it worked both times, so. Though if you really want story in Pokemon, I really recommend Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. They put out one on the Switch recently, and it's of the first one, which on its own is really good. Like, I'm a big fan of the ones that came after the second generation of the games, Time, Darkness, and Sky. But the first one is a very solid entry. I wouldn't have played the second ones if I had not played the first ones. Well, I don't know, maybe. But, yeah. I don't want to get too sappy first time streaming, but those games definitely made me feel very sad as a child. Very sad. Like I am very embarrassed to be crying at this. What's the resolution of a DS screen? Not very much, but like to the point where tears were just falling onto my screen and I could not really read the text because it was all watery and drippy, and they're good games. If you play them, please don't get turned off by how initially childish they seem. They're really good. One of the best teams in the game, because it's a bunch of exploration teams. One of the best teams in the game is Team Meanies, and I stand by that. If you know, you know. It's Gengar's really cool. Well, he gets there. It's not a spoiler, but you know, Pokemon, bad guy, probably gonna be some degree good. I don't know. Sky, Time, Darkness, though. If they ever get remakes, I urge you all to get one because they're really good. Like, really, really good. Like, they're the reasons why Grovyle is one of my favorite Pokemon. And, well, I guess if it does get a sequel, I don't want to talk about it. Or a remake, sorry. But, super cool. Super Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. It's, story-wise, it's okay. It's okay. It tries new things. It fails at some of them, succeeds in others. But, the music's really good. It seems more of a celebration of everything in the franchise. And gameplay-wise, I really appreciate it because, to be honest, a lot of the Mystery Dungeon, at least the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon side of things, I don't really know anything about, like, Sharon the Wanderer or... Actually, fun fact, the Mystery Dungeon franchise is actually a spin-off of the Dragon Quest franchise. A spin-off specifically of 4, actually. Sorry. Um, but yeah, the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon franchise isn't really all too difficult, I would say. But starting with Super, and I guess ending with Super, considering that's kind of the last new iteration. But starting with Super, I think they really nailed actually making items important, as opposed to just stocking up on a bunch of Reviver Seeds and pressing A through the entire dungeon, hoping that you don't die. Faint. Important distinction. I don't want to talk too much about Smash Brothers. Everyone likes Smash Brothers. My main hero. Yeah. But yeah. I basically grew up with that franchise, and well, that's why I like a lot of crossovers. I think they're cool. I think they're neat. Oh man, Valhalla. Valhalla VA 1-1 Hall A Cyberpunk Bartender Action, the waifu bartender game. That's what it's officially called. That's literally how they advertise it. It's not that, actually, but that's how they advertise it. Well, I played it once. I keep trying to go back to it, but okay, this is a weird problem to have, but I feel like it's too good, like, to go back to. Like, okay, my first experience with it, I was kind of bad. I was not really paying so much attention to what the clients wanted. I didn't get a lot of the super secret stuff, I guess. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to go back to that one because it kind of just felt like real people actually talking to me. Like, to the point where, like, playing it again just feels weird. Like I'm in some weird Groundhog Day loop. I don't know. I'm sure there are a bunch of other games that I feel the same way about that I can't really, like, go back to because, you know, it's hard to. It's hard to go back when it's like, yeah, your first playthrough, that's my canon playthrough. That's the one that matters. That's the one that I actually spent time on. Well, yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me drink some water real fast. Oh, this water bottle's heavy. I mean, this thermos. It's not a water bottle. It's for children. And healthy, active adults who run. I don't, but, you know. Sorry, I'll just stop talking, just drink water now. Alright, that feels better. Yeah, Valhalla is a good visual novel, and I urge people to play it because it's... There's a new one coming out. That excites me. That's because that's probably going to be my only way back into that world. Considering I can't really go back to the old one. Oh, yeah. And speaking of visual novels, Zero Escape. Bought the first game on a whim. 999. Oh, what was it? 9 doors. Oh man, it's been so long. Hold on. 9 doors? 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. Yeah. bought the first one on a whim. I heard it was alright. Like, okay, I heard it was really good. I guess it's not really a whim. It's more of a informed purchase. Oh, thank you. I try to have good tastes. Yeah. Bought the first game on a whim. 9 hours, 9 somethings, 9 people, whatever. And well, I played through all of it in like 3 days. I think that was my first visual novel where I had to actually aim for multiple endings to get the true one, but it was an experience. I'm in a weird place with that franchise too, because I guess I can't really spoil it if I want to do something with it in the future. But just know that that franchise takes a lot of weird twists and turns, I guess. And not all of them really for the best. It's a trilogy. It has the same problems any other trilogy has. Though, first one, you can totally play standalone if you really want to. I would suggest, I know it's hard, it's expensive. Maybe, I don't know how much they go for nowadays, but I would suggest starting that game, playing that game on a DS. Maybe you can find one for cheap. If you can't, that's fine. Just play it however you can. But man, the DS was a really, really good platform. Really good handheld. Probably my favorite. Which iteration? DS, 3DS? I could be talking about either, really. But, yeah. Sierra Escape series, really good. The Somnium Files, not part of that franchise, but it's part of that franchise. Come on. Also really good. Also standalone. It helps if you play the games because they know that you play the games. They kind of expect you to. Nothing really in the story, just in terms of little jokes and Easter eggs and let's just say general plot beats. Yeah, they totally expect you to have played those games. And Danganronpa. Those franchises are kind of buddy-buddy, so they kind of expect you to at least have a passing idea of what the Danganronpa franchise is. Maybe I've talked about these two things too long. Well, let's move on. For future streams I want to do, and this kind of leads... Yeah, this actually works out. Well, I'm a bouncer, right? I'm also apparently a hungry bouncer. I hope that didn't catch on the mic. Oh, okay. So, I'm a bouncer, right? I am not actually super knowledgeable in any martial arts or fighting in general. I mean, I fight. I have bandages. Hold on. Hold on. See? Right there. That's me. I have bandages on my arms. I have them for a reason. I do get into fights occasionally. Sometimes. Every now and then. But I I no one's ever really taught me. Like, if you ask me to make a fist, I honestly still don't really know if my thumb should go inside the fist or outside. I just kind of do whatever, and, you know, people don't really expect someone who's 5 foot tall to, start a fight, I guess. So, yeah. I'm not very trained in the art of fighting. Which is why I kind of want to get better at it. I don't know what kind of styles or methods I'd employ in any fight, really. I just kind of do whatever. So I would like to get better at it, kind of the only way I know how, by absorbing it through media. Media, in this case, being fighting games. I've been practicing. And by practicing, I mean purchasing whatever fighting game I can with whatever income I get in these trying times. And I don't know. I thought it'd be something I could get good at now that I have all the time in the world to. Excuse me. And really, I don't want to get better by myself. I want to get better with other people, like you guys, viewers, anyone who stumbles upon this stream, really. Okay, I know a little bit about fighting games from some of the anime I talked about, primarily High Score Girl, and I don't know, having a rivalry sounds kind of cool. Being part of that scene, wanting to get better, like having a drive to learn more and more. I don't know. It sounds cool, and I would really appreciate it if I could go on that journey with other people. I know that sounds a bit silly, but I don't know. I think it might be kind of fun. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So I guess the reason I really like the idea is that they really, every video I see, every time I see someone talk about like getting into fighting games, I hear about, rivalries forming, and I always think back to, I don't remember what episode it was or why it came up in the first place. Okay, I think I know why it came up in the first place, to be honest, but there's a part in Naruto where they talk about what a rival is and what it means to have one, and how it's like having a wall that you just want to... Is this Naruto? Isn't My Hero? It might be both. Oh my god. Let's just say it's both. Maybe. I think it's Naruto, but I'm sure it comes up in both. But the idea of having a rival as a wall that you want to conquer that just keeps getting higher and higher, because you're both each other's walls. It's a never-ending arms race to be higher than the other. That sounds really cool. And it would be really cool if I could have that journey with other people. So I think that's why I want to stream playing games like that in the future. I mean, it also ties back to just me wanting to be a better fighter in general, obviously, but I don't know, going that journey, going down that road with someone, other people, multiple people, not just one. I don't just want one rival. I want a bunch of them. Seems fun. I also want to go to a school surrounded by people who I can see as competition, I suppose. As you could probably tell from the last few slides, though, I didn't really grow up on fighting games. I grew up on RPGs. My bread and butter. Well, I say that, but I really only played a handful, and even then, kind of the weirder ones. Or at least, not weirder, just the ones that aren't as popular over here. Like, I say I'm a big fan of RPGs. I cannot tell you anything else about, like, the rest of the Final Fantasy franchise. I didn't play 7. I didn't own a PS1? PS1. That came later down the line. For me, personally. Yeah, I enjoy RPGs. So, I'll probably be playing a lot of those because, well, I get to talk during them, and, well, assuming most of them are going to be of the, like, turn-based variety, I will be able to just talk to you guys while playing them. You know, the fighting game sessions are obviously going to be a bit more high tempo. So, going on adventure, being whether it be a warrior clad in armor going through fantastical realms, or maybe piloting a mecha, who knows? I would want those to be a bit more laid back. Something that you can just leave on and listen to me go through. And babble on to myself. Speaking of babbling, something that I would like to do personally, that I guess I hope is unique, is something like a gaming book club. As I've said before, I've already played a lot of my favorite games. I've played a lot of the, let's say, games that you would probably want to save for a stream. But I didn't, because I wasn't streaming. But I would like to still talk about them, maybe play through them, I don't know, but I would still like to get something out of it with you guys. So my idea for that was something like a book club, where if it's a game I've already played, I play it through again, maybe on stream, maybe on my own time, but I play it at a chunk of it at a time, and I would urge all of you to play along with me. Like, maybe if it's something based on chapters, we'd all be like, well, since I already know about it, I could just be like, yeah, play until you get to this part. Play until you get to chapter 1, or chapter 2. Oh god, that sounds like homework, now that I think about it, but I swear, it's gonna be, it'd be cool. It'll be cool, because after we all played it individually, maybe I would play on stream, who knows? We could all have a discussion about it and just kind of talk about like the elements of the narrative structure and stuff like that. Or if we don't want to sound too pretentious, we could just talk about, like, yeah, the gameplay's really good. I really like this one part where yeah, I don't know, there are a lot of games I really want to talk about, and I guess a lot of them are visual novels. Maybe I should have put that on there instead of role-playing games. I think it'd be really fun and really cool if we could just analyze something. Take something apart and think about certain games in a new light, I guess. Like, oh, did you miss that foreshadowing part where so-and-so happens and it's actually a reference to something that happened in the most recent playthrough we did? I think that'd be really cool. I mean, yeah, I guess in hindsight, it is basically the homework you get assigned in, like, the 9th grade. But it's video games! Look, man, I could only read so much about, like, the Crucible so many times back in high school. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. If you guys have any suggestions, I would appreciate it. I mean, I could probably also just talk about one of the games I've already played, but I feel like it'd have to be something that's available. I wouldn't want you guys to have to go digging through bargain bins trying to find this random obscure video game. That probably is like a Dragon Quest or a Dragon's Dogma, really. No, you can get Dragon's Dogma on Steam. Dragon Quest might be a bit harder. But yeah, like for the Valhallas, for the Amoris, I feel like that'd be a cool way of experiencing the game. I just want to experience these things with people, really. Fighting games, role-playing games, visual novels, I just want to talk about it with someone and not sound obsessed. Sound like I actually have a reason to talk about it. I think that'd be fun. I don't know why I put down talking streams down here. Since that's all I'm probably going to be doing. I mean, I'll be playing games, but I don't know. I hope it's not too egotistical to think that people would have questions for me. At least I hope not. But, you know, in case you do, I'll set something up and we can just talk. We don't doesn't have to be about me specifically. Talk about random things going on, I guess. Just chill. That's all we're really here to do, is chill in the long run. And lastly, I would like to talk about my goals for this channel. I kind of started it up on a whim, but now saying it's a whim is kind of, that's a disservice to myself. I've wanted to do this for a long time. I've wanted to share the games that I love with other people. I wanted to play them for a crowd. Find people who feel the same way. And if we're speaking from the heart, streams are kind of how I survived the last year. And yeah, I really appreciate streamers and people who do stuff like that. So I wanted to do it myself. My first goal would be, of course, to develop a skill, and any skill at that. I said the fighting game thing. I want to get better at fighting in general. But honestly, getting better at talking, speaking publicly, that'd be cool too. Getting better at learning how to start streaming. Like, set up an overlay. Networking. I'd appreciate being able to learn any of those, really. And what better way than to just force myself into it? Everything's rough around the edges right now, but I'm gonna borrow a quote from a video that I watched about fighting games, but why wait to go to the gym? Or, man, I messed that up immediately. Why wait to be the strongest person at the gym before you even go to the gym? I think that's right. It's like, you don't need to be perfect starting out. Like, getting into something is part of the learning process. And it's been a long time since I've learned anything, so I think it'd be good for me. Have at least 20 people in a stream simultaneously. I think that's a doable thing, right? I mean, yeah. Not really much to say about that one. I'm not really focused on getting a big following or anything. I just kind of want to do this for fun, see where it gets me, and if people like what I put out, cool. I'm happy to have you here. But more than anything, really, I would very much appreciate it if you find me nice to listen to and you like what I put out, don't feel obliged to actually watch the stream. That's probably a weird thing to hear, but what I mean by that is, if I can be the voice that you guys listen to just in the background while doing other things, I don't know, I think that would mean a lot to me, more than just having a lot of followers, really. Like, I've basically only really listened to other people for the last few years of my life, really. Like, just listening to other people talk, like podcasts or videos I put on, video essays, have at you. And I kind of know how it feels. Like, you put on something in the background. This might sound a bit dark. I hope it doesn't. But to help you just get on with the day and not just be left alone with your own thoughts. Because being a captive of your own mind, that's... Oof. That's, Woof. Like, I've been there. A lot of the people I listen to nowadays are, podcasters, let's players, so on. Well, I guess less let's players and more streamers now, but it's comforting to have someone just in the background. And considering I watch the same videos over and over again just to have something on, like, I wish I could watch more streams, but I don't know. There's something comforting in just hearing something you've already heard before. Just keep talking, and I would like it if I could be something like that for someone else. Just chill vibes all around. If you need help with homework, if you're doing work, if you're, I don't know, taking a bath or a shower, I don't know why you'd be listening to me, but if you are, that'd be cool. Like, I'm sure there are better streams that you can watch for chill music. I can think of maybe a few. But if you find comfort in what I put out, my voice, or what I'm playing, or just my commentary, know that I appreciate it. And knowing that I'm that for at least someone out there would that makes me really happy. Yeah. These goals are kind of small in the long run, I guess. But I don't know. This is kind of where I feel comfortable at right now. And that would be that. Sorry, it's kind of a hot day. I'll take another sip of water if that's fine. Ah, real good. But yeah, that's kind of what I have planned. We're starting out small, and maybe a teensy bit disorganized, but that's kind of exciting to me. Oh, wait, maybe I should move over here. Hold on. Let's... There we go. I appreciate the compliments. Thank you, Transparence. Prince? But yeah. It's a new frontier. It's a new year. That's not what I wanted to say. It's been a new year for maybe 6 months. Oh, 7. Sorry, 7. But yeah, I thought this would be a good time to try something out. Try something new. Reinvent myself from, hey, I'm a bouncer who hasn't really had anything to bounce, to someone who streams and someone who just talks about what they love without coming across as, hey, you wanna talk about Dragon Quest? You want to talk about the Tales series? Let me tell you everything I need. I know everything I have stored inside this head of mine. I'd like to just get that out there in a way that's a bit more natural. I'd like to learn skills, learn how to play games, and actually think while playing them. Learn how to stream, learn how to talk, because, dude, social interaction. It's been so long. I'd like to critically analyze things again. And critically analyze things I actually care about, as opposed to a 300-page novel about... No, that's too dark. Can't bring up that book. Whales, I guess. I just want to finally be able to do something I love. Something I care about. And not feel, I guess, guilty for bringing it upon anyone else. So yeah. That's what my streams from now on will be. I guess it's been a while since I've said my name, but my name's Soren Caster. Soren Caster. Weird name, I know, but I live in a place called Crash City. I guard a bar called the Crimson Sacrifice. Those are like 3 different weird names, at like 3 different points on the spectrum of weird names. So yeah, if you like what I do here, if you like what you've heard, if you like what you've seen, consider coming back. If you're seeing this archived, I apologize for the nervous wreck I was at the beginning. If you watched the beginning. But, thank you. I'm probably going to be doing this quite some time now. I would have liked to have a schedule by now, but unfortunately, things are a bit, let's say, well, we'll see. Tomorrow is when I actually know for certain when I can stream and what. So, hopefully by then I'll have a schedule posted on my Twitter at, you can find at, oh, I knew I was forgetting something. It's... What am I talking about? It's just at my name. At Soren Caster. Yeah. You can find me at Soren Caster on Twitter. Or, well, I mean, if you're watching this, you hopefully found my YouTube channel. Unless this is embedded on some weird other website. But hopefully next time, I'll be more confident from the get-go. I will say that I have been planning on playing a few games. For a sparring session, I think... Well, I mean... Yeah, I really hope so. I really hope I can. I'll try. But yeah, for a sparring session, I think I'll be playing either... Okay, maybe Smash might be a bit... I mean, everyone has it, but Kazuya just came out, and that might be a good time too. Or maybe Guilty Gear? I do have it. I have been practicing. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll see how it goes. I do have a game that I'm really excited to get to that I bought and I've been wanting to play, but I've been holding back because I know that I'm just gonna have to. I don't want to have. I want to have something to stream, but I also want to play it. It's called. Oh my goodness, I forgot the name. 13 Sentinels. That's the name. 13 Sentinels. And I'm hoping I can stream it. 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. Aegis Rim? Aegis. That word. You know the word. And... Heaven or hell indeed. I still don't know who my main Guilty Gear is, but... maybe we'll find that out together. Who knows? But yeah, I'm probably going to be playing 13 Sentinels at some point, and I'm excited. This is the most excited I've been about playing a game in a while. Since Amori, which was like maybe a month ago, but you know, whatever. That's fine. That's fine. We'll see. Like, I've heard really good things about it. I'm really excited to get my hands on it. Like, I installed it. It's ready to go. It's raring to go. I should probably just... no, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna have a schedule set. I don't know how to break that game up into chunks, but we'll see. It'll also be my first Vanillaware game? Is that what they're called? Yes, I think so. We'll see how it goes. it has robots. Hopefully I can stream it without any issues. I know that piloting the mecha in those games is a tad non-standard, but we'll see. So yeah, thank you all for coming, and know that I appreciate you guys giving giving me a moment of your time, really. Still kind of new to not only starting a stream but also closing it. Thank you. Thank you for coming today. I really appreciate it. Hopefully it won't be too long before my next one. Just have to iron out some details in my schedule. Who am I kidding? I'm probably gonna be streaming like 2 days from now. What else do I have got going on in my life? But yeah, thanks for coming, and catch you later. Or see you soon. See you on the flip side. We'll hash out the usual streamer shenanigans later. But yeah. I don't know if I'm one for catchphrases or fan names, but bye.